In the previous interview, we touched on the blue side of death row. Um, a lot of people commented and wanted to know a little bit more if you knew any more people that were on the other side that was around the label or around the artist that you could speak on.
I'll let you call off names. I don't like calling off names because I like to always be able to say, I was asked a question and I answered it. Don't like me answering questions, I'm sorry. But
Mhm.
so I'll let you ask me the question so I can keep up that statement when I say to people.
I'll name some names, and if you're okay with it, you can just tell me stories or thoughts on people on the blue side. Um, we'll start off with Warren G.
Warren,
And
Warren G. Warren G was around way before I was. When I came around Warren G, the only time I really saw Warren G and stuff, a couple of times I went to visit and talk to Superfly at the studio, and him and Warren G was working together. Um, I saw them at the Regulator. They got nominated for a award show one time with me and Suge and with Nate Dogg, and they were nominated for Regulator. Don't think they won, but I think they presented an award at the American Music Awards or something like that. So that would have been like 94. It might have been 95 when that happened. But the time that, and that's at a Death Row function. Now, I remember this about Warren G. We, after a Soul Train after party award, we got into it with the Long Beach Stews. That's when Keto Rock and the Nate Dogg and Whack 100 and K9 and the Rillas, some of the, all the, of course the homies, but mainly some guys from two P's and stuff that was with us. My boy Pooh Ryder and stuff. We got into an altercation with them at this award show. And I remember the Rillas and somebody else chasing after Warren G. And Warren G ran up to a car because we was chasing those niggas all over. That's when I pulled out the gun on Nate Dogg and Fabian and was about to pop their ass. And and after Nate Dogg had just got his tooth knocked out uh, by well, anyway, ain't gonna call no names. Well, Kid Rock, everybody know about that. And so they had got into it and we was chasing. It was big chaos at this flying museum. And Warren G was running. I just remember Warren G running into a car. And there was some white folks in the car and he was trying to get them to jump in the car with them. And he said, I'm Dr. Dre, brother. Let me in the car. People was like, I don't give a fuck who brother you is. You ain't getting in this car. I remember laughing at Warren G about that. But yeah, I forget who was with the Rillas. They were on his ass, so. But yeah, that was the incident with old Warren G.
Okay. What about Superfly?
Pre Superfly. Superfly was Superfly. I didn't see Superfly much around until like 96, 97, and he was mainly like the DJ. And the guy that used to go and be like the DJ on the road and stuff for them. But he was tight with Daz. Some would say he played the keys and did a lot of the work for Daz. Daz was hell of on that drum machine, so people that always try to take Daz credit as for a producer. I still love Daz's bass line and his ability, but I guess he wasn't that good on the keyboards, is what I'm finding out. And Superfly was. And so Superfly also had a song, man. I can't think of the song now. I know I put it out on either Chronic or Two Gangsta for Radio that I was like, I wanted to put that album out on Superfly. I really did want to put an album out on Superfly. But the politics got in the way. And but Superfly and Crooked Eye was the main reason that I talked Suge into doing that deal with Big C Style and Dash, that DPGC Records deal, was because I wanted to do something with Superfly, who was signed to Daz, and Crooked Eye, who was signed to Big C Style, and do something in conjunction with them. And so Superfly Priest, his name Priest or Superfly, he was mainly known, like I said, during the heyday of a DJ and somebody that played the keys for Daz. Never known he had any gang affiliation. I knew he hung around them, but I don't ever remember him being either 19th Street, North Side, 20s, or Insane. Not saying that he isn't or was. I just don't remember that. About Superfly.
What about Swoop G?
Swoop G. Swoop G is crazy. I think Swoop G's in prison now. I'm not for sure. I know it's this boy that I used to stay in contact with. Young Swoop died. I know he died, and I thought it was Swoop G for a minute. Somebody told me, no, Red, that was young Swoop that died. And Swoop was crazy. Swoop, unfortunately, I started fucking with Swoop back with Swoop when they recommended him to me. I don't know if it wasn't Big C Style in them. But they always thought he was too wild and crazy, and I don't think they liked him, to be honest. But I love Snoop verse on Murder Was the Case. Swoop G from the LBC, why you niggas? I loved him and Lil C Style from The Murder Was the Case soundtrack. So when I heard about Swoop G, I was like, oh yeah, I like Swoop G, and Swoop was crazy and wow. So this is what Snoop did. I remember Ronald Knight was so furious at me when this happened. Ronald Knight had Snoop to perform at a concert in San Bernardino. Some type of outside, like in 98 or something like that. He did some type of show, and he was one of the promoters on it, and Snoop was performing. I was like, Snoop performing where? So you know the hater Reggie came out. So I told Swoop G, you go up there and bomb on the nigga on stage, and I got a death row chain for you. Or it might have been some money. I forget which one it was. Shit. That nigga called me, Reg, I got up in that nigga face on the stage while he was on the page, and I did woo, and they shut the concert down. I was like, what? I said, okay. Next thing I know, Ronald Knight calling me. And Ronald stuttered a little bit. Reggie, I'm gonna get your ass. I'm gonna beat your bad ass when I see you. I'm like, what you talking about, Ronald? Y'all niggas owe me some money, y'all. Y'all sending that little punk ass nigga. I used to tell that Swoop G when I see him, I'm gonna, do this or do that to her. And he said, but y'all niggas gonna pay for that. I was like, Ronald, I don't know what you're talking about, dog. I don't know what you're talking about. He said, nigga, I know y'all sent that nigga up there to interrupt the concert, and that little nigga bombed on Swoop G. On Snoop at the concert. I laughed. I said, oh, I guess that nigga telling the truth. But Swoop was the type of nigga, man. Swoop had some issues too. When he get on that Sherm, though. Still loves Swoop to this day. So if anybody knowing how to get a hold of Swoop, even in jail, tell a nigga to reach out. But, man, I sent those niggas to the Bahamas to do a show at Long Beach Airport. I remember Rillis called me. Reg, man, Long Beach PD taking Swoop to jail. I'm like, what? At the airport. I said, nigga, y'all supposed to be... No, we still at the airport. We're at Long Beach Airport. Why they taking Swoop to jail? I don't know. He tried to feel on some girl or something in the bathroom and kind of molested or do something. I was like, oh, Lord, Swoop. And so after that, then Swoop. So now they mad at Swoop because Swoop was out there riding for death row, riding for us like crazy in Long Beach. He like the new rider. He was on Snoop and them head and dashing them ass, and he was on them. He was like my little Long Beach killer. He was on those niggas. But then this dude named Fabian caught him somewhere. And he shot him in the leg. And shot Swoop. So I remember going to Swoop saying, how you want to handle this, Swoop? Swoop said, nah, I'll take care of it. Yeah. And then Swoop came home. I think he tried to say he got into a fight with Suge or something shit like that was out there or something. I think Suge had to pick him up and throw him somewhere because Swoop was wilding out. He was on that Sherm and shit. And I forget what happened with Swoop while he left from around, but I know soon from Suge being home, Swoop wasn't around no more. So yeah, that's the deal with Swoop G.
Okay. What about Joe Cool?
Joe Cool. Y'all know Joe Cool is a comedian. He's funnier than Keefy D. Joe Cool is one that I always try not to speak on or talk about because I like Joe Cool. And Joe Cool did a lot of things for me back when all of those niggas was mad. I'm talking about recently on Bomb First. He used to come on Bomb First and give us shows and give us interviews when all the other Long Beach dudes was like, and I done had Big C Style and the other dudes too, but, when they was like, fuck Reg. Fuck Reg. And so, but Joe Cool would be like, nah, fuck that. Reg's always been cool with me. And Joe Cool, in my opinion, gave us the best Tupac story ever. Joe Cool told us on one of our interviews, if y'all can pull it up, it was a live stream, so it was over the phone. But Joe Cool told us, he said he was on drugs real bad. And Pac pulled him to the side and told him his personal issues that he had from family members. And talked to him and gave him and made him decide to stop coming around and get off that shit. Y'all go listen to that interview with Joe Cool. If y'all want to hear a good story about Tupac, or if you fighting some type of addiction or know someone that's fighting an addiction, go and listen to that interview and what Joe Cool said. Pac pulled him to the side and talked to him about him and told him. And you'll see why I never talk bad about Joe Cool. I know Joe Cool. I stay away from Joe Cool. Haven't asked him for any interviews or anything because I know he's still making money with Snoop and dealing with Snoop. And I know for him to come and do something with us right now, as bad as we've been talking about Snoop, because y'all think Snoop ain't heard none of this stuff. Trust me, he has. But I hope, and I know y'all don't tell the good that I say. Y'all only tell the bad that I say. But as I always tell y'all about Snoop, Snoop is my what? I'll let y'all put that in the comment section. But I always tell y'all, if there's a concert that I have to go to or have a choice to go to, it's that Mount Rushmore concert right now would be who I would have picked prior to being fucked up like I am right now. But you let me get right before they finish doing that concert, I'll be at one of those. I don't care where it's at. But I definitely would have been at the one that's coming up in Vegas. We'll go to one in LA. Too many of you goddamn Latinos be tripping and stuff. Ain't going there. But I definitely will be at one in Vegas.